Once more, the resilience of Pakistani nation has been put to test. The recent monsoon rains have left unprecedented devastation in its wake. Relentless rains lashed vast areas of the country including Sindh, parts of Balochistan, eastern Punjab and Azad Kashmir. The province of Sindh has been hit the hardest. Overnight, lives of more than 7 million women, children, young and elderly changed, worse than they could ever imagine. The downpour was unrelenting, continuing for days at a stretch. Badin district in Sindh received a record 615 millimeters of rainfall, breaking earlier record of 121 millimeters in 1936. The area of Mitti also received record rainfall of 1290 millimeters. Consequently, all 23 districts of Sindh have been inundated. What were hustling and bustling neighborhoods only a week ago have been reduced to piles of debris and wreckage. An alarming number of snake bites, cholera and malaria cases have already been reported from the affected areas. Stench of dead animal and the rot fill the air. The traumatized women and children are pushed to spend their days and nights out in the open, that too without food. Crying infants and wailings of sorts paint a sorry picture. The inundated towns and villages have no electricity, sewerage or access to clean drinking water. Women, especially lactating mothers and newborns, are at the highest risk, including thousands of pregnant women. With floodwaters yet to recede, vast areas of the province are still cut off from land routes. Extreme conditions are preventing the relief teams from making contact with many stranded communities. No doubt, no government could have coped single-handedly with disaster of such proportions. According to estimates, all 23 districts of Sindh are hit by rains and subsequent floods. Districts Badin, Tharparkar, Sanghar, Nawabshah and Mirpur Khas have taken the worst hit. Torrential rains have already killed close to 400 people. Another 7 million have so far been affected and thousands rendered homeless. Close to 500,000 people are forced to take shelter in makeshift camps. Vast areas along River Indus have submerged. Almost 80,000 livestock have been washed away. About 32,000 villages have been badly affected by the floods. With 7 million affectees, only 150,000 have received tents. More than 1 million acres of farmland has been inundated. The natural calamity has since become the national priority. The Democratic Government of Pakistan People's Party has since stepped up efforts to bring immediate relief to the traumatized communities. The first responders were none other than President Asif Ali Zardari and the Prime Minister Yusuf Raza Gilani. The President scaled the submerged streets of Benazirabad on foot, bringing a touch of warmth to those stranded on rooftops and random walkways. The President also put out a worldwide call for humanitarian assistance in view of the widespread destruction.
We are aware it is our responsibility, it is a national disaster, it is the responsibility of the government of Pakistan, and as always we have stood up to all challenges and faced them and we've overcome them. I am full confident in your leadership, I am confident in the people of Pakistan, I have confidence in my government.
The President also appealed to the artists, sportsmen, industrialists and NGOs to play their due role in this hour of need. The government is fully alive to the situation and mobile rescue and health teams have been deployed on war footing. The government has already announced a hefty financial assistance package for the flood-hit areas. Prime Minister Yusuf Raza Gilani too set the momentum for relief operations and visited the devastated districts and the displaced families. Whilst in the middle of inundated towns and villages, the country's chief executive called for unity, charity and resilience.
मेरे को बड़ा अफसोस था कि तुसा बारिश की वजह कोलों आपने घर बार छोड़ के था बैठे हो तो को कोई फिक्र करने की ज़रूरत कोई नहीं. एक कुदरती आफात है. असां पूरी कोशिश करेसूं जितना साढ़े वास्ते च असां पूरी मदद करेसूं. 100 साल दी जंग च 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 100 साल दी जं और मैं सारा हुक्म कर देते
The Premier also appealed to the international community and philanthropists to come forward and help alleviate the sufferings of the affected and homeless. On Prime Minister's directives, a high-level committee has been set up to supervise, monitor, and coordinate relief and rehabilitation efforts. An emergency relief cell has already been set up at the Prime Minister's Secretariat. National Disaster Management Authority, voluntary organizations, and civil society in general have already mobilized resources to cope with the catastrophe. Pakistan Baitul Mal has so far provided 1 month's food to 20,000 families. Another 150,000 have been given food packets. The organization is also extending food support to 700,000 people daily. Armed forces, including Army, Navy, and Air Force, are not just busy rescuing the stranded families, but are also providing food and medical assistance. To keep the momentum going and raising further awareness about the extent of damage, public representatives have also been visiting the battered Sindh. The Speaker of National Assembly, Dr. Fahmida Mirza, and Faryal Talpur, another women parliamentarian from Sindh, have already visited the calamity-hit areas. The Federal Minister for Information Broadcasting, Dr. Firdaus Ashik Awan, also visited the devastated districts and distributed food and makeshift shelter. On September 18th, Government of Pakistan and the United Nations Office for Humanitarian Affairs formally launched a worldwide appeal, calling international partners to help alleviate the sufferings of the countless many. The following day, the United Nations Geneva office has gone international with its call for the much-needed humanitarian assistance for the flood affectees. The most needed items at this point in time are food items, family tents, plastic sheets, mosquito nets, hygiene kits. Also needed are water purification equipment and dewatering pumps. The distress calls have gone out at just the right time and for the right reasons. The devastation has been indiscriminate and widespread. While relief operations are still reaching out to the stranded thousands, infectious diseases and danger of epidemic looms. It is time for the friends of democratic Pakistan to be generous and forthcoming in this hour of need. This is about saving the human lives first and then the property. As we look at these dreadful images filled with suffering and loss of faith, many families are on the verge of losing their loved ones. It is time for our actions to speak louder than words. Let us show them that we care, that the world cares. In the spirit of humanity and collective conscience, let us reach out and rekindle hope for those who need our healing touch.